This is Chosen, and I'm just out here in the park, just walking, and I'm looking. There's a dead tree over here, and this tree is dead, but it's surrounded by life. Life is literally growing up the tree trunk, right? Literally, it's a dead tree, and look at the life that's attached itself to it. Even in death, there can be life. I don't know. I was out here in nature, and that struck me. On the last episode, I talked about redemption. I talked about um, change. There's a prevailing opinion, which I wholeheartedly disagree with, that the narcissist is unredeemable, that they cannot change, that they cannot be saved, that they will be monsters forever. They'll be monsters forever if they choose not to change. But I believe that change is possible for anybody. It takes a tremendous amount of work. It takes a tremendous amount of self-sacrifice. It takes courage. When I was on my journey, there was a couple of times where I was incarcerated for false accusations levied against me by my family over a property. Not to get into much details, an ongoing situation, but the sin and the shame of it is the scary reality of this country is that somebody can go to a courthouse or go to a police station and accuse you of a crime, and there's no burden of proof for them to accuse you of that crime, right? So they go down there and, one lie, two swear to it. All of a sudden you got a warrant for your arrest, and they drag you across the country. I got dragged 2,100 miles, perp walk, 2,100 miles across the country. But I was locked up on two separate occasions. The one I shared in a previous episode, my wife left me in jail for 45 days while she actively entertained supply in our house, which, let's just be honest, she probably was doing it every time I went to work, because God knows whether or not she went to work or didn't go to work, right? It's not like I was relying on her income to cover our bills. So anyway, the reality is, and look, were there times that I was unemployed or went through different situations where I left the job or a job dried up and I went to get another job and that job wasn't the right job and it didn't turn out the way where I planned, or I was promised a certain amount of income and my income went down and then I had to get another job. Yeah, that happened. That's part of life. You know what I mean? Nobody, I'm not that I'm keeping score. I'm trying to present myself as flawless or perfect, because I'm not. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But there are supernatural forces at work in these situations that have to be considered. When you lay next to somebody who is presenting themselves as light, who's masking their true identity with witchcraft, powered by your essence to confuse you so that you only see what they really want you to see. And you don't really ask questions, and they keep you in a certain state of confusion. When she didn't want me completely confused, I was the primary breadwinner for probably 11 out of 12 years, right? She took a year off, and I had a year where I had lost some family and was at war with family and got a hold of a lump sum, and I wasn't in my right frame of mind. But I believe that she contributed to that. You can't lay next to darkness every night of your life and think it's not going to seep into your soul. It seeped into mine. It turned me into somebody unrecognizable. Her inner child, the pain of her inner child, my empathic abilities were picking up on pain that I thought was mine, and it wasn't mine, it was hers. I have since learned to identify and to ask myself questions. For example, I wake up sad or tearful. I ask myself, what happened? What happened that caused me to feel this way? What realistically happened that would cause me to feel sad or despondent or to feel this way I'm feeling? And if nothing happened, if I didn't have a dream that, that brought me sadness, or something didn't happen, but, while I was awake before I went to sleep, that would cause me to feel sad, then is this sadness mine? So I would say something to the effect of, there is sadness in my energy. There's sadness in my energy, and does it belong to me? And if the answer is no, then I would identify it as something external, and it's an incredible thing, but that sadness would then dissipate and disappear. So, I learned something. I learned that my empathic abilities have become significantly stronger. So, people who are thinking about me, or people that I care for, or once cared for, people that still have a connection to me, their feelings can be transmitted to me, and because my ability is so strong, if I'm not conscious of, I have to remind myself that you're an empath. What you're feeling may not be yours. You need to then ask yourself some questions before you continue with this feeling. Because before, I used to just accept the sadness, accept the sorrow, and embrace it and like it was mine. But the truth is, it wasn't mine. There was no rational reason for me to be sad in that particular moment. Not that I don't have sad things that I could think about to make me sad, but nothing happened today. I didn't get hit by a bolt of lightning or struck by a car or, dodge a bullet today. There was nothing that energetically in my current existence that caused me to have this sadness. So it's not mine. And it's amazing because as soon as I started doing that, the sadness would disappear, the sadness would go away. And I'm saying this because there are people out there who may not know that they're empaths. They may have had a difficult childhood. They may have had trauma in childhood. They may feel things deeply. A lot of people, are on all kinds of pills because they think sadness can be solved by chemical means. I reject that concept. You need to take a stroll through your mind sometime and kick in some doors and open some windows, see what's going on in there. I'm going to continue with another episode. This is Chosen.